Walz says Dems weren't bold enough to double down on DEI and immigration. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. You guys need to double down harder next election. And Walz appeared alongside former Rep. Beta O'Rourke at a town hall event in Texas. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said the Dim party had gotten into its current mess because it wasn't bold enough to stand up for DEI and immigration. Yeah, they didn't double down enough. Former vice presidential candidate appeared Thursday at a town hall event in Rosenberg, Texas. I think he was there for a horse auction, and he's like, I may as well show up for this interview while I'm there, or this event. Alongside former Rep. Beta O'Rourke, he told supporters, I'm just going to note this shit show of a signal text chain was going on. Could have used a little diversity, equity, and inclusion in the people who were there. I think I'm going to own this. We see people when we see people back off, when we see corporations back off the threats. Instead of leaning into and knowing we're doing this because it's not only morally the right thing to do, it's economically the right thing to do. And our culture proves that our strength is our diversity. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Timmy. You're absolutely correct. This is exactly the message you need for the 2028 election. You guys got this. So we've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, legal immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI. We let them define what woke is. You realize all of those you guys used to have full control over. And we got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you're damn right. We're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in. We're going to execute them. So they didn't lose because they did exactly that, because they told people who couldn't pay their bills anymore, yeah, we're proud of what we did to you. No, that's not why they lost. They lost because they didn't double down hard enough. You know, you're absolutely right. The Walz added that Republicans are going to use fear and they're going to use whatever they can. So Republicans are going to use fear. This is from the party that literally convinced themselves it'll be just like The Handmaid's Tale if Orange Man wins. Like, Transformers will literally be getting rounded up in the streets and executed if Orange Man wins. But, okay, tell me again how the Republicans are going to use fear. Tell me again how that's going to happen. Like, I'm not saying Republicans are innocent, by the way. Republicans they're coming for your children. But the difference is they're actually right about that. How many more cases do we need of schools brainwashing and transforming children without their parents knowing before they realize, like, maybe they actually are coming after the children? So that's the key difference there. Like, in this case anyway, when the Republicans are doing it, they're actually right. What I would say is we need to make sure we're highly organized. I mean, you had that last time and you still failed. One of the groups that has benefited greatly from us understanding that DEI and having policies around that were veterans themselves for hiring. Veterans are part of a group that, when the federal government hires people based on that. Yeah, they all try to hide behind the veterans too to get their brownie points. Now, the rest of it is, as you all know, in Minnesota, pretty white, pretty cold, pretty much you see in the northern hemisphere, northern states, population going down. 70% of workforce over the next 20 years is going to come from communities of color. Our very existence depends on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why is 70% of your workforce over the next 20 years going to be, quote unquote, communities of color? Is it because white people are just suddenly not working anymore? Or is it because your DEI policies are pushing them out of jobs to lift up some more cock? You know, communities of color, COC, cock, it fits. Which also completely coincidentally leads to these white people completely checking out of society, maybe even leaving the country. And then you bitch about white flight. Yeah, I was going to say there's no way to win, but there is a way to win. Just leave. White flight is the answer. Just leave. Like, after you're gone, after you've already left, do you really give a fuck what the losers you left behind think about you leaving? So while you're retired on the beach in the Philippines or in the Caribbean or somewhere, do you really care what these losers think about you? Let them say whatever they want. Now, if you got a YouTube channel like me, you can milk them for content and laugh at them. Last week, Orange Man said Walz contributed to the Democrats' loss. I actually don't agree with that. So I think that Walz definitely didn't do Heels Up Harris any favors, but I don't think there's anyone who was going to support Heels Up Harris, but then decided not to because of Walz. Let me just put it that way. I don't think he made any difference at all. It's just that he failed as his job as the vice presidential candidate pick in actually helping Heels Up Harris, like maybe bringing a different demographic in to vote for her. Yeah, he was a complete non-factor in the erection. I mean, look at him. How could you look at him and have an erection at the same time? It's literally impossible. Joking aside, Orange Man's comments came in response to statements Walz provided in a podcast with California Emperor Newsom, which Walz predicted he could kick the ass of most Trump supporters. And then, of course, all these Trump supporters took him up on it, and he bailed. Well, he's a loser. Yeah, I think so. He lost an erection. Orange Man said he played a part. Usually a vice president doesn't play a part. They say, I think Tim played a part. I think he was so bad that he hurt her. Yeah, see, I actually disagree with the Orange Emperor on this. I don't think he hurt Heels Up Harris at all. Yeah, I don't think there's a single person out there who was going to vote for Harris and decided not to because of Walz. Heels Up Harris is so bad, she took care of that for both of them. But she hurt herself. He's right about that. And Brandon hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him in the bottom of the group. No, I still think Heels Up Harris is the bottom of the group. Heels Up Harris was literally the first one eliminated in the primaries in 2020. You remember that, right? And then they thought, yeah, this fucking loser who was the first to be eliminated last time around is who we should be running this time around. That seems like a good idea. Even fellow Democrats don't like this bitch. Like, remember, the Democrat primary. That is what Heels Up Harris was the first to be eliminated from. Only the Democrats vote in that. It's not like the evil Republicans kept the Waymans of color down. Fellow Democrats wanted nothing to do with Heels Up Harris. What the fuck odds do you think Republicans would want to have anything to do with her? You thought it was a good idea to run the candidate even your own party doesn't fucking want? How regarded can you be?